Good morning, people, and welcome back to the channel. So, in today's episode, we are going from Hanoi to HUE. So, we are starting a new adventure today. And by the way, HUE is a city which is famous for one abandoned water park, and it is absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, I'm on my way to HUE right now. So, I have booked a bus, and the bus takes around 12 to 13 hours to reach from Hanoi to HUE. Before we begin our journey, let me give you some tips about traveling in Vietnam. The cheapest way to travel between cities is, of course, buses, because they are the cheapest. Of course, they are not the safest option, but they are pretty safe. And the more expensive option is the trains. They are the safest options, but they are way more expensive than the buses. And yes, you can also travel by flights. The flights are way cheaper than the train, so you don't have to take the train. But if you have never been in a Vietnamese train, then you should go on one, because I am also planning to do it from Hue to Da Nang. And right now I have booked this bus for 300,000 dong, which is around 1000 Indian rupees or 15 US dollars. And this bus is a sleeper AC bus. According to the reviews, it's very comfortable, but let's see in reality how comfortable it really is. When I reached the pickup point, I was picked up by a minivan, and then this minibus dropped me at the actual bus stop. You are not allowed to wear shoes or slippers inside the bus, so the bus driver will give you a plastic bag to keep your shoes. Okay, so I got on the bus. The bus is way smaller than I expected. Yeah, it's not very comfortable, but it's alright. And yeah, I'll check in a while when the bus stops, and I'll tell you all about it. Good morning, people. So I just made it to Hue, and yeah, after a 13 or 14 hour bus ride, and yeah, it was not the most comfortable ride, but it was all right. I had fun, and yeah, I did sleep for 3-4 hours, and right now they just dropped me like 20 minutes away from my hostel, so I have to take another taxi or a bike taxi from here to my hostel. And also, if I have to review the bus was all right. The seat was a little bit comfortable, not the worst I've ever seen. And yeah, if you want to travel in bus, I don't see any problem, but the only problem is the driver was a little bit driving in a rash way. So yeah, other than that, everything was all right, and everyone reached safely here in Hue. And now let's go to the hostel and check in. And then I booked a bike taxi using Grab, which is just like Uber and Ola here in Vietnam. Okay, so first ride in Hue. Okay, so I just got out of the hostel. The name of the hostel is called Freedom Hostel, and I am paying around 360 rupees per night to stay at this hostel. But right now they are not letting me check in because the check-in timing is at 1 p.m. So I have to wait till 1 p.m. to check in and get my bed. Right now I'm really hungry, and I'm going to get something to eat first and then think about what I'm going to do today. I just found a local restaurant here, and I'm just on my way to the restaurant, and I'll finally feel a lot better after having some breakfast, because I have not eaten anything since yesterday afternoon. But look at this alleyway, it's so nice. Yeah, the location of the hostel is pretty good, and yeah, I kind of like it. I can't find a good restaurant. There are a few restaurants, but they are serving beef or chicken, and I don't like to eat chicken in the morning, so let's see if I can find something vegetarian in the morning. Okay, so I found a restaurant here. It's not a restaurant, it's like a cafe, but they serve egg banh mi, which is just eggs and bread. So yeah, that's what I'm going to have for breakfast today. Good. So just finished having the meal, and it was around 15,000 Vietnamese dong, which is around 50 Indian rupees or less than $1. But the most important thing which I want to tell you is that I told them to get egg banh mi. I told them to make a egg banh mi, but they also added pork into it. So if you don't eat pork, it's fine for me. But if you don't eat pork, then you need to make sure what they put into the banh mi and what they don't put into the banh mi. And then I went back to the hostel, ordered some Vietnamese coffee and met some new people. 2 hours later, I rented a bike which costed me around 300 rupees per day or $4 per day. And then we finally left the hostel and went to our first destination of the day, which was the abandoned water park. And right now I'm exploring a place called Abandoned Water Park. It's not called Abandoned Water Park. The name of it is a little bit difficult to pronounce. I'll just put it on the screen. So legally you're not really allowed to enter, but you can give some money and enter this place. It's absolutely beautiful. Check this dragon out behind me. Few things you should know before coming to this place. Legally there is no entry fee, but when you enter illegally you have to pay a fee of 20,000 dong, which is around 60 Indian rupees or $1. And yes, it's definitely worth it to pay that money. So there are 3 entries to enter this park, and all of them there will be a guard. On one entry there is no guard, but they will still ask you for the money. And yeah, you can just, they will try to shoo you off. They will tell you to get out, but just tell them that you'll give them money and they will let you in. So let me tell you a few things about HUE. So HUE is not really a very top tourist destination in Vietnam, because there are only like 2 or 3 tourist attractions here, and usually I do not go to such cities which only have 2 or 3 attractions. But this attraction here, this abandoned water park and this city is definitely worth visiting. So there is a big lake here, and in between the lake there is a big statue of a dragon, which is absolutely gorgeous and it looks so amazing. Like, I've never seen such a thing ever. And there are also some small spots on this park which you can explore, such as this car here, and you can just go walking around the park, and it's a really nice park to hang out and just chill. And by the way, the view from the top, from the mouth of the dragon, is absolutely beautiful. You can see the whole lake and the forest. Okay, so I'm finally, after exploring this water park for 1 hour or 2, I am finally going back to the hostel or to the Imperial city, which is the second tourist spot in HUE.
Alright, so how does this work?
No idea. You first have to wait for it to go down.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so I'm in a cafe called Cafe Moi in a city called HUE, and this city is famous for salty coffee, and this is one of the best coffees I've ever had, and you should definitely try this. So the number 2 thing which you should do in HUE is try the salty coffee in Cafe Moi. Okay, so the next place to visit in Hue is the Imperial city, which is just next to Hue. Right behind me is the ancient city of Hue, and there is also a shrine here, and it's absolutely beautiful. So basically the ancient city is like a fortress, and it's covered from all four sides by water and a fortress. There is also a huge flag of Vietnam on top of the fort, and right in front of the fortress there are two shrines. One of them is this one, and across the road there is also one more shrine. So I don't know if it's a temple or a shrine or whatever they call it here, but it's absolutely wonderful. Also, I forgot to talk about the hostel I'm staying at. The hostel's name is called Freedom Hostel, and I am paying around 360 rupees per night to stay at this hostel. And I also get a free breakfast with this. So in all, it's a 6-bed dorm, and yes, it's a little bit expensive than what I used to pay in Hanoi. I mean, like only 50 rupees more, but yeah, it's all right. Here in Hue, there are not many hostels, and this is one of the best ones. But overall the hostel is great, and I would still recommend you guys to stay here at the Freedom Hostel in Hue. Okay, so it's around 7:30 or 8 in the evening right now in Hue, and there is a river here in Hue called the Perfume River. And if you can see behind me, there is a bridge, and there is this restaurant here which are lit up, and it's absolutely beautiful. So not just during the day, there are many things you can do here during the night as well. There is also a walking street here where you can go out for some drinks and dancing, but the clubs are shut down right now because there are not many tourists here. And yes, but you can still go out and have some beers and enjoy with your friends you have met here at the hostel. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do here in Hue, and it's one of the most absolutely beautiful cities I have ever been to. Unfortunately, I have to leave just after one day because all the hostels here are shutting down because of coronavirus. So I have to leave tomorrow morning and go to Da Nang, which is around like 3 hours away from here. So I'm gonna take a bus from here to Da Nang. In the next episode, I will be traveling from Hue to the city of Da Nang. We will be exploring the peninsula and the Dragon Bridge in Da Nang, along with a lot of amazing people I meet here in Da Nang. So that's going to be in the next episode. So make sure you stay tuned and subscribe to Limitless Nomad so that you can watch the next episode.